Hello, my name is Waylon Lewis, and every week we'll bring you a new podcast with Elephant Journal. Hey friends, this is
Kelsey.
And I'm Waylon, and we have some big news to share with you. I wrote about it on Elephant, but we just got
engaged.
And sadly, our rings are
being resized.
So neither of us can go show our rings. Here's Remy. And
everybody's here.
We're up in a treehouse in Colorado. So we just thought we would talk about we just took a 12-day journey in New England, and we were in Vermont and Massachusetts, Western Mass, and then Boston. And just talk about the engagement sort of from a Buddhist point of view, and also just the mindful and unmindful fun or things we noticed while traveling. And maybe that would be interesting. Thank you so much, Lisa. You're so sweet. Lisa's a big sweetie. So feel free to ask questions or say things or whatever you want. But maybe we'll start with the framework of outer, inner, and secret.
Yeah.
So those are sort of categories in Buddhism where you have for your personal meditation or spiritual path. But I, as the supplicant to Kelsey, applied it to our proposals. So our secret proposals were just personal, just when we were alone, intimate.
Yeah, kind of the innermost world,
Yeah, and they just naturally arose kind of for months. And then after enough of that, sort of like baking the pie in the oven, then I planned outer, inner, and secret. So after the secret proposal stuff happened, thank you so much, then I did a inner proposal at Choling, a Buddhist retreat center in Vermont. And inner in the sense that it wasn't secret, it wasn't just us, there was Sangha, community around. So do you want to talk a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah. So we were at Choling, which is after our secret engagement where we decided to get married in the fall and to visit on this trip. So that was really special for me. Waylon was there in high school and kind of grew up around community there, and it was really cool to see, a place that is so special to you and meaningful. And I also was doing a Bodhisattva vow program there over the weekend. Which is like a big deal Buddhist ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was also in the same ceremonial space that we'll get married in. So it was kind of a big deal for both of us. A lot of new for me and a lot of nostalgia, I think, for you, Way.
Yeah.
And
I think nostalgia gets a bad rap because in a way, revisiting your old stomping grounds is like turning over compost, like you're going through your life and things you care about and how you or me or us became who we are today, and the things we treasured, like we visited the Athenaeum and various things in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, and just beautiful places that we treasure. And when you look back 20 years later, 10 years later, 5 years later, you're like, wow, that was a special place or a special memory or a special friendship. So, yeah. So how did the inner proposal go?
Well, I said yes. It was very beautiful. We walked up to Chagyam Trungpa's Perkong at the top of a hill.
It's like a monument.
Yeah, it's this beautiful white and painted red and blue and gold and all these gorgeous colors on top of a hill. And you can see the mountains in the distance and up close. And it was really sunny when we got there, and then started to rain a bit, and then the rain passed and the sun came back out.
And did you know it was coming?
No. I knew that there would be a proposal during our trip at some point. And we had talked about inner, outer, and secret. And so I knew it would be some sort of kind of combination of what we'd already, vowed to each other, and then also including some semblance of community and
And one time I remember asking you, I said, would you prefer a private proposal? Because I was really valuing, not having a phone, not having camera, not having video, just doing it with you, for me, for us. Because I'm on social media and all that stuff all the time. So the inner one was important to me. That would give me a little time to say a couple things or ask a few things.
Yeah.
And what was your response when I said, would you prefer like a private one or a big public one?
Oh yeah, I said as long as it's the proposal's coming from you.
You said you didn't.
Yeah,
care.
Any time, any place.
And I smiled. I remember being like, aha, because that was obviously it's touching and beautiful, but it also was exactly. It gave me the sort of license to do what I did.
Yeah, which was at the top of the hill. You got, well, first of all, it's tick country out there.
Yeah.
And we were very mindful of being protective from ticks with like long socks and everything. And I wasn't expecting it. So when Waylon got down on one knee in the grass, I was like, what's happening? And then you said...
Yeah, I'm about to propose, and you're like, why are you in the grass? You're going to get Lyme disease. Yeah.
And then you said, I've asked you in secret, and now it's time to ask in front of, community.
Yeah.
And you're my match. Kelsey and Kramer, will you marry me? And I said, of course. Every day. All the parts.
All the parts.
Yeah.
For all time.
For all time.
Yeah, and then it rained, and there happened to be two gentlemen who were volunteering painting or doing some kind of carpentry or something. And they were there after. They weren't really close by, but they said afterward, they were like, would you like photos? So we have a few photos from just after. It was sweet. Yeah. And it was beautiful. It's just green, sacred hill, big mountains, rain, sunshine, the Perkong, this Buddhist monument. A lot of history and power there, whether you're new to it or not.
Yeah. And a lot of the Sangha community that was there, some of them... Is your arm okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the ring itself is what? What's special about it?
Well, it's an antique ring from 1908, which we're big fans of historic preservation in all senses and all things antique and secondhand. And it's ruby, which is both of our birthstones, but I think more importantly to us, it's just beautiful and kind of represents the heart and the hearth and
it's very warm.
Yeah. Surrounded by, y'all can see it probably in the last couple of reels. I wish I could show you, but...
Yeah, on Waylon Lewis, on my personal account, there's some stuff. And Kelsey is rooted, can I say?
Yeah.
Rooted feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see more good stuff about the ring if you like. But yeah, part of the point with the ring is just to have that history, but also to not be creating new mining or, new kind of suffering, because there's a lot of suffering around gold and diamonds and rubies and all that. So we worked with a local shop called Classic Facets, which we adore that place. And then fast forward through the trip. Kelsey, I don't think you had any idea now, because I had kind of warned you an outer thing would happen at some point.
Yeah. Are we going to Fenway right now?
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as Kelsey
I didn't know
said,
how far those took us.
that was a fast forward.
Okay.
So what happened next?
So then at Fenway, we
went to a Boston Red Sox and Yankees game.
Yeah. And I was really excited to see Fenway because it's the oldest ballpark in the nation, and we went on a tour the next day, and it was just so fun to see the history of it all. And there were opportunities to tear the stadium down and build a new one, and people fought to keep it as it is and to restore kind of the original integrity. And the game itself was amazing. I knew that he was going to do an, more public proposal, but I thought it might be here in Boulder.
Like with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were, little notes kind of, not on the Jumbotron, but kind of on like a side screen throughout the game, just like Happy Father's Day and things like that, because it was Father's Day.
Little personal notes like,
yeah,
congrats on your 20th anniversary at work and Happy Father's Day and, whatever.
Yeah. And then you asked for my ring for a second.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew something was coming. But I thought it might be just one of the, which would have also been so amazing, but I thought it might be like, pay attention to what's on the smaller screen because that question might pop up. But it was a massive deal.
Yeah, like the entire stadium. And there's a video of it on Waylon Lewis and on my personal account. It's really fun. This gentleman who we didn't even know 2 rows behind us took this perfect video, which is so lucky because we didn't ask for it or expect it. But yeah. So, but psychologically, what's going on? You're watching the game, and then what?
And then you ask for my ring. So
yeah.
I know something's coming.
Yeah.
And then a cameraman comes down and kind of posts up in front of us, and this little girl.
And you knew at that point?
Well, I knew. I was like, these are definitely both connected. But this little girl next to us, was like wanting to catch a ball and be on the Jumbotron and everything. So I was kind of trying to get her attention. But everyone seemed honed in on
That's so cute.
The 2 of us.
Yeah.
And then I look up and it says, Kelsey Kramer, will you marry me? And we're on the screen. And
is that surreal to see that up there? Your
so
name?
Surreal.
Yeah.
I think it was more, I think it was surreal that like we had kind of bonded with everyone around us in our section.
Right.
And I was like, has everyone been in on this the whole time? Is that why they've been so... It was like Yankees, Red Sox mashup in our section.
Right.
And everyone was being so friendly and like witty comments and smack talk and everything, but just awesome. And I saw it on there. And then obviously we had our moment, but just everybody was, and high-fiving and... It was just
but how quickly
fun.
did you get... Because looking at the video, it looks like you're like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like...
Because there's, like, the camera, the little girl, the Jumbotron with the words, but, like, we weren't on there when the cameraman was there. So it was, like... Right. Maybe it takes a second for that to show up or something. But I also don't want to steal the moment from this little girl, but she got on there, too.
Totally. She was on for a long time.
Yeah.
So the entire stadium watches... me ask for your hand in marriage, and fortunately you said yes again, and
I was very much like yes, because you can't hear anything,
right?
So I'm nodding too, just so the crowd gets
it. Yeah. And then I was like pretty psyched, but just physically I was so nervous or excited I couldn't even like put the ring on her finger. So I'm like, do you mind putting it on? I don't trust myself to not drop it or something in the popcorn on the ground. And then it was like a mini little like house music or classical music thing where it was like boom, 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 boom. Because, at each stage, the crowd was like roaring in different ways. Like I got on my knees and then you said yes and then we kissed. And then, at the end, I'm like, let's go Sox or something. And, for the rest of the game, we were like, definitely enjoyed our 15 minutes of fame. Because everyone was like, congratulations. Entire sections were like applauding us. And we were like adrenalized. And
yeah. We kind of came from outer back to inner and tried to take a calming walk together through the back of the stadium, and everywhere. It's like, let me buy you a drink. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? You made me cry.
Yeah, and so I think just what was interesting to me about, other than sharing some happy news and having fun with it, is that, the outer, inner, and secret, even if it's one proposal, all 3 levels need to be there. The outer was like community and fun and kind of an epic like splash. Mm-hmm. And then the inner was like Sangha or community or family and more meaningful.
Yeah,
a little
and
more personal.
also a group that we had been with, you know, for you, like some of them years.
Yeah, decades.
But for me, also studying with them through the weekend, you know, that
Yeah.
created a bit more of an intimate circle than the guys we were sitting with at the game, who are still
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, and I wanted that for you. I've already said this to you personally, but I had visualized, you know, us coming down from the Perkong, from the hill after the proposal to like share that and the ring and share that with Sangha. I felt like that would be meaningful because, like you said, like people like Linda, you know, like that was a relationship or a new friendship, not just someone you hit it off with during the ball game for a couple hours, like you already said. And then the secret level is just between you and me, like no bullshit, no performance, no, just us. And I think, you know, outer, inner, and secret is a good framework for a meaningful, fun, romantic, memorable proposal, whether it's all in one or 3 separately like I did.
Yeah.
So please read the article or check out the videos if you like on elephantjournal.com. When you do so, you're supporting independent media. This is the love of my life. She's incredible. She's kind. She's communicative. She's humble. She's vulnerable. She's invincible and kick-ass and incredibly stylish, even wearing my hat.
Especially when.
Especially. So big love to everyone, and thank you if you listened.
I have to say my list.
Oh.
And this is the love of my life. And he's a sweetheart and so incredible in so many ways. Such a genuine, open, grounded, visionary soul. Both for the world, but also just intimately and, you know, personally, I feel very lucky. So I love you. Thank you, honey.
I love you. Thank you. And I just always want to note, because I was alone for so long, that, you know, this is not meant to leave anyone out or make anyone feel bad. That genuine love comes out of making friends with yourself and a little bit of perseverance or luck or finding your match, finding someone who's willing to communicate and repair and celebrate life with you. Big love.